How you doing, everyone? My name is Ryan, and this is Ade, and this is another edition of Boxtalk. Today, we're looking at the career of Bernard Hopkins. The question we have, really, we all know what he's done. What's left to do? Ade?
That was my that thing that he does, the execution thing when he comes and wants to kill you. Look, nothing. That's the simple thing. This video can be 20 seconds long. There is nothing left for him to do. Bernard Hopkins, go away, start your promotional company, leave Golden Boy alone, stop walking into the ring with other people that you don't really care about. Go and do your thing. You deserve to literally be the king of boxing right now. You should be the biggest cash cow in boxing. You fight anybody. You have fought everybody. You are the king of everyone. Leave it. You're too old. And the funny thing is about Bernard Hopkins, I'm ranting on a bit now because I like this guy. But the funny thing about him is that he gets to a stage where the guys that he's fighting that could put him down, I don't know they will. He's got a chance to knock everyone. Bernard Hopkins, I've said he's going to lose so many fights that he always wins. He always proves me wrong. But he could lose to a guy, almost like the decline of Tyson a bit, but a bit different, that means nothing. It almost hurts your legacy a bit because there's guys out there that are big punches in his weight division now. There's young up-and-coming guys. There's guys that are going to stay around. He got beat by Dawson. I don't rate Dawson too highly. We all saw War done to him. We always saw it Stevenson done to him. I think these last fights that he's taken, there's more chance of hurting his legacy that he always claims he still fights for than saving his legacy. I want Bernard Hopkins to get out right now. Had enough.
The flip side of that coin is always, you tell a guy who's winning, who's clearly still a world-class fighter, clearly no less than number 2, 3 in the division. People will might say he's number 1. People look at the Cloud fight and say Hopkins could not Cloud. Stevenson, say Hopkins could outbox Stevenson. I mean, if you're winning, you're not getting hurt, you're not getting dropped, you're winning not close, you're winning convincingly. Take out the Dawson fight. He beat Pascal convincingly, who beat Dawson. He beat Cloud convincingly. We both said before Cleverly's demise that we both thought Hopkins would beat Cleverly. Cleverly will box him in the boxing match and lose. Can you tell someone who's still at the top to quit?
No, you know what the funny thing is? It gets to a stage where you can't tell. I think Hopkins has got to a stage where Hopkins runs his own camp. Hopkins doesn't even need Nazim Richardson to be there to train him. They're just almost there just for the sake of being there to kind of say, Hopkins, this is how you go.
I think it's motivating. Yeah.
But it gets to a stage where it gets to a level where you know you can carry on, but you don't need to. Now, Kazaki had those big fights that he really wanted against Roy Jones Jr. and Hopkins. He didn't get hurt too much. I mean, he got put down. I think Roy Jones' put down was a lot harder than the Hopkins put down. But he got put down, but he won the Roy Jones fight convincingly. The Hopkins fight was close, could have gone either way. He didn't need to quit either. He had still have a big fights left. But he decided, you know what? There's not much left to do. I think it's getting to that stage with Hopkins where I think people forget Hopkins was supposed to retire at the Tarver fight. I think people forget, if you listen to the announcement when Buffer's announcing the fight, Buffer announces pretty much his last fight and he's going out. He wins the fight. He's had 6 fights after that, or was it 7 fights after that or something? He was supposed to retire then. But it's getting to a stage where it's just stop.
But then you could say that after the talk of retirement, he's had maybe 2 or 3 of the best performances of his career. Yeah. In terms of, maybe not in legacy, as in the trainer that mostly the biggest performance overall, and the Tarver was a great one as well, but you're looking at the Pascal fight, you're looking at the Kelly Pavlik fight, was a beautiful performance. You're looking at the Cloud fight. I mean, you tell the guy to leave while he's still showing amazing things. The difference, I understand what you're saying, I see the points where people are going to say, well, he should this, he should that. But, you know, I think it also has got to do with our mindset, where he's always the underdog. He always feels he's behind anything. Kazan is a good example. Kazan was the king of Wales from early in his career. Kazan was, in Kazagi's world, in Wales, in England, he was top dog. Hopkins was always, like he mentioned himself, he was the third child behind the Roy Jones and James Tonys. He was always behind everyone, behind the Trinidads. Even Hopkins was the champ for 3-4 years. He was behind Trinidad until Trinidad came out to beat Trinidad. It's like he was always the forgotten child. Yeah, if you're always last and now you're first.
Yeah, but you're not first. That's the thing.
No,
Hopkins.
he is not. If you look at
there's a reason.
in perspective,
Hopkins is first.
He's now where he's at.
Hopkins is not first. The reason why Hopkins is not first, Hopkins has to go Canada now to even make these big fights. He can't sell his own. He can't sell what he's been fitting. He's not first. He has to go to these guys' hometowns to fight these guys where these guys are big. That's the problem. And what's
you get more accolades for going to someone's hometown And what
No, you only get accolades for going to hometown when you need to go to the hometown because you can't sell in your hometown. He can't sell in his own hometown. That's why I'm not giving him accolades. For someone that's been around for so long, it should be just a bonus. It should be an easy 24,000 sellout. For someone that is a bona fide Hall of Famer, someone that's going to go down in the top 15, top 20 of all time, and someone that's won weight divisions in three different weight classes. He should be, two different weight classes. He should literally be now a guy that can sell out. He can't. There's a reason, and the reason we can't. People don't enjoy watching these fights. It's that simple.
His fights are not as pleasing as other fighters.
They've never been.
People that know Boxtalk.
He's never been.
He has.
His biggest fights, Oscar De La Hoya and Trinidad, and Pavlik and Tarver, and I guarantee you, of all those 4 fights, it's the other person people want to see more than Hopkins.
No, but that's not an outcome of the fight. That doesn't make a difference. The point is that he's in those fights, he's winning those fights, he's dominating those fights. That's what counts. You're winning, you're making money, you're progressing, you're moving forward. If you look at everything Hopkins done throughout his career, from the beginning to the end, he should have been here. I've seen people on internet calling him the godfather of boxing, where he's actually earned his right of where he stands, in a sense, on his own type of throne ahead of everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, the king's not dead. He's still there right now. He's still trying to do certain things. He won another world title 4 months ago.
Yeah, but he got beat by a not great Dawson. He got put down by a guy that has no power. Pascal. He's getting to a stage where the next 2 fights. Pascal maybe has some power. Pascal's not got power like we're talking Golovkin or Kovalev. We're not talking that kind of power. He's got power, but those guys have got superpower. And that's my scare thing for Hopkins, is that he's going to get into the ring. His next 2 fights possibly could be against 2 of the biggest hitters in world boxing right now. And that's Stevenson. People say, yeah, he can box Stevenson. Everyone said Dawson could box Stevenson. We all saw what happened. People say, yeah, he can box Kovalev. And until someone lands on your shoulders, your arms, on your face, let's see how you can box these guys. Hopkins 5 years ago, don't get me wrong, easily boxed the life out of Kovalev. Easily boxed the life out of Stevenson. These guys have got engines for 12 rounds now. Hopkins hasn't, for me. At his steady pace. I mean, at the pace that they want to set, he hasn't. At his pace, of course he hasn't. I just don't see the point in fighting at 49 years of age anymore. It's more risk than reward factor for me. He's the oldest world champion of all time. We know this now. Stop. What more accolades do you want to get, Hopkins?
I'm a huge Hopkins fan. Anyone don't know, this is a Hopkins t-shirt. I've got respect for the guy. I understand the fears, I understand the concerns. I've even said before he should walk out on top. I thought he would walk out on the Pavlik fight on top. I thought that'd be nice. I thought the Pascal fight would be nice to walk out on. I've seen what people are saying, I understand what people are saying, but the old adage in boxing that you don't retire until someone makes you retire.
No.
No one's putting to retire. You don't want to see no one get injured or no one get hurt.
Exactly.
And like I said, I'm defending the guy, but I have to be fair and say, look, there are pros and cons, but I can't see why.
There's more likelihood of him getting injured at 49 than there was at 33, 34. I'm just, like I said, he's in a division now that 3 years ago I could understand. When you look at the boxers that were there, Cloud, Bellew, Cleverly, Dawson, I can understand what it would be. I didn't mention, all those guys I mentioned, none of them are really big bangers. There's 2 guys now that have been added to that division. Kovalev and Stevenson. These guys are bona fide bangers. These guys seem to carry weight in their hands that hasn't been in the light heavyweight division for many, many years. Not even Glenn Johnson, not Antonio Tarver. It's not been in the light heavyweight division for 10 years.
Tarver was a good puncher.
But never that kind of dominant power, these guys. These guys seem to have genuine one-punch knockout power. Or if not one-punch knockout, one-punch concussive power. And I feel like Hopkins would easily beat the Tarvers, easily beat the Cleverleys, the Bellews, the Dawson, maybe in another rematch. I'd like to see that fight again. He'll beat those guys. The other guys coming up now, even the guys that might come up through super middleweight, he obviously doesn't want to fight Andre Ward. There's other guys coming up. I just feel like right now, the risk of harming that legacy that he's really built up over the last 10 years, that's now a reason. Remember, what he's done, everyone talks about the middleweight, his middleweight run. His middleweight run wasn't getting him in the top 20, 30 of all time. It's what he's done after that middleweight run that's got him now into the top, sort of, a lot of people's opinions, and it's the top 15, top 20 of all time. And I don't want him to harm that run.
I understand your point. I think I would like to see Hopkins call it a day. Lisa, like you said, the age, everything you've put, what he's had and to do and what he's gone through, I think enough's enough. And I think it's time to call it a day. But I don't think he should be forced out. I think he should have his own decisions, his own choices. He's made good choices for himself for all this time and carried himself well. There's times when he said some bad things he shouldn't have really said, but that's life. He's made mistakes, but he's come forward. I think he should go on his own terms. Where in a sense, maybe this fight, whichever with the Murat fight, or maybe one fight after that, get his defense. But I think he should be able to go without the bandwagon of him. He needs to go.
My only scare thing for Hopkins, and it's not even Hopkins, it's every single boxer. We're talking about Hopkins, so let's stick with him. My only scare thing for Hopkins is that he loses one, which he might. There's no way someone like Bernard Hopkins, the executioner, is going to go out on a loss. It's just not going to happen. We've seen it with boxers all the time now. I mean, Mosley should have retired 6 years ago. Mosley is now fighting again, possibly. It's just these fighters don't want to go out on a loss record. They always say, "No, I feel good in training. I can do one more fight." Hopkins is never the person, and you know it, Ryan. Hopkins is never the person that's going to lose a fight and say, "I'm going to call it a day." He's going to say, "No, I want to go out on a winning record. I deserve that." And everyone's going to, is he going to fight when he's 50, 51, 52? I think the thing for Hopkins is that he deceives us because he looks 35. That's the thing. I think if Hopkins looked like your average 49-year-old, think of, you guys all know a 49-year-old. Look at your, if he looked like that guy that you're thinking of right now, that's 49, you'll say, no way. It's because he looks so good. He looks in amazing shape.
So this fight coming with Kamaru Murat. Yeah. Do you think it's a risk? Do you think he should go ahead of it? Do you think he should call it a day? Or do you think this should be the last one? What's your ideal scenario to hide it into the sunset?
This is the problem for me, the Murat fight. Murat's just not a big enough name for Hopkins. Hopkins will beat Murat. That's the thing. I think he will beat Murat. He's not going to stop him. We know that now. It's going to go to points. Hopkins probably win comfortably on points. And then it's the big one. And then, like I said, the guys I just mentioned, Stevenson's now been in the division. He's doing stuff. And everyone saw the face-off he had with Hopkins recently. Kovalev, because of what he done to Cleverly. There's now fights out there again. He's done the Pascal, the Dawson, the Cloud. There's now new blood in the division. And those new bloods are calling out Hopkins, and Hopkins is not one man to turn down an opportunity to fight these new bloods. And that's my fear factor. He will beat Murat comfortably on points, and then one of these guys are going to call him out, and he's going to accept. And it's a big fight. That's the thing. Hopkins fighting in Canada or fighting even in wherever Kovalev's from, or a good fight in America, it sells. People are going to watch it. And hey, he's going to set the fight.
I think retirement soon. I think it's time to call it a day. But like I said, I think he goes through the Murat fight. I think depending on the Murat fight, how he feels, he could call it a day. He wanted to defend his title. He said a champion defends his title. So he didn't want to win the title and call it a day. So maybe the defense is his way of saying, I'm going to defend the title, say I had it, defend it, and then call it a day. If he doesn't call it a day, I would prefer not to see him fight these huge punchers. But where his standing is, where his ranking is, with that belt, those fights are going to happen.
Yeah.
It is a risk. It is concerning to things that a guy his age is still doing what he's doing. Right. But, like I said, you can't. It's very hard to tell someone when on top to call it a day. And unfortunately, as much as I'm a fan, as much as I've got mad respect for this guy, I think it's going to take more than him just calling it a day for himself. He's going to feel it himself. Like, guess what? In that Murat fight, I didn't feel good. So someone's going to have to make him retire, and that means a stoppage or a retirement scenario.
What scares me for Hopkins, and this is not even what scares me. Hopkins is one of those boxers that can do so much out of boxing. There's some boxers that you get that literally they say, "Oh, I've retired and I don't know what to do with myself," and they start taking the drugs and the drink, and Oscar De La Hoya, and so many of the top boxers seem to not know what to do. If you ever listen to a Hopkins interview, his boxing knowledge is probably second to none. Maybe Mike Tyson has a bit more knowledge than Hopkins. His knowledge is so deep in terms of boxing.
Historian.
It's unbelievable. He should, and this is black boxers in general at the moment, and they should. Why do they not all have their promotional companies? Why are they not all managers? Why do they not have all a fleet of fighters underneath them? What are they doing? It's almost like a Shane Mosley. Shane Mosley should have his company. We're talking about a bona fide Hall of Famer here. Both of these guys, and you must feel like they've been riding Golden Boy's, tails for so long and haven't gone on to do their own thing. And that's what I feel that's happening. I feel like they just all they think about is fighting, rather than thinking about the promotional side of things and the managerial side. All they think about is fighting. An executioner company would have been amazing. You know what I mean?
Could have been. It would have been. Well, people, tell us what you think.
Yeah, guys, come on. What do you
think? Leave your comments below.
What do you guys think? Give us a shout. Tell us. What do you think? Hit us at boxtalk@hotmail.co.uk. As Ryan said, leave your comments down below and we'll get back to you on it. But what do you think? Should Hopkins retire? Is it enough? I mean, does he have to go into his 50s? Where is he? Is he an all-time great? Is he in your top 10, top 15?
Two more fights.
That's what you think, guys.